Playing the music, I can't hear it.
Welcome, everybody. It's another exciting edition of the Sports Hole.
Sports Hole!
Some would call it the most dramatic episode of Sports Hole history. I'm your host, Luke. With me, as always, XFL Jim, Rock and Roll Maddie Goldberg.
What's up?
What's going on in this summer edition, boys?
Hot.
Got a new haircut. That's what.
Hell
Got a
yeah.
nice mullet going.
Yeah, I got the mullet going. I'm ready. I'm going to a rodeo this weekend.
Oh,
Nice.
fuck yeah, dude.
You gonna wear a
Those are fun.
belt buckle?
Yeah, I got a new belt with a big ass buckle. I got some cowboy boots. I got a nice hat.
What are you drinking?
An A&W zero sugar.
Okay.
Maddie, you and I should go to a rodeo out here. You'd fit right in.
Maybe Sunday. I used to stay at South Point Casino, and they used to have them all the time.
Oh, they're really fun, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I hear the Vegas one's a blast.
Oh, I bet. I
Yeah.
bet. Because you get like just an interesting combo of people, you know? And
Mhm.
Vegas is like, that's what a lot of people forget, like places like Los Angeles and Vegas are Western towns, you know, that have a rich
A Western
you know,
town.
Western history. And they always forget
Yeah.
about that because they're become such big cities now. But it's cool.
There's everything in Vegas. There's even a rodeo.
I think the rodeo's been going on forever, though, hasn't it?
Probably.
Yeah, I
As
bet
long as
the only
there's
ones I've been
dirt
to have been
and
like
cattle.
small town ones. It's real funny though. It's like I don't know what they do out there.
Would you get on a horse there?
Fuck no.
I would.
I mean, I would. I mean, no, I wouldn't get on
A
it.
bucking bronco?
Fuck that. No, that's
Pretty
Would you get-
serious shit.
Maddie, would you get on a bull?
Yeah. I'd
Would
last-
you get
I
on a
have-
mechanical bull?
No. Not my thing.
Maddie's not worried about getting injured. He just doesn't want to shit his pants.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
I'm not
He doesn't
getting
want
on
to
a
get
buck-
jostled around up there. You know what
I'm
saying?
not getting on a mechanical bull for my life.
Maddie, I want to see it.
I'd last like less than a second. I'd get a concussion when they throw me off.
Nah, it'd be fun. What if it healed you? Like all of a sudden your body worked perfectly afterwards, and you're just
That'd be pretty awesome. That'd be like a
Yeah.
cool movie.
yeah, right.
Sign me up for that. What's up?
Not shit. Not
There's
shit.
not much going
I
on.
want to vent about the Major League Baseball All-Star game.
Yeah, well, tell
The-
us about it. I think
The
you're probably
floor
the
is
only one who
yours,
watched it.
Maddie.
Yeah, the floor is
Forget
yours.
about the game because the game was like I don't know. I just baseball like unless I'm betting on it, I can't really get into it. But they gotta stop with these on-field interviews. It's the dumbest thing that they think like, oh, we're bringing it like to the fans, like we're gonna talk to the guys on the field. It is useless. It is annoying. It is stupid. Get rid of it, please.
Maddie, I am 100% with you. I think it's almost the equivalent of like, you know, like in the middle of a movie to be interviewing like one of the actors. Like, so
Well-
what was your, you know, what were you thinking in this scene here?
Well, it's
You know,
not
like-
that.
It's like watching a
only that,
director's commentary as like your first viewing experience.
but it's also like, okay, so they interviewed Aaron Judge. They had him mic'd up, and it's like,
Right.
if you're like, hey, what do you guys do after the game? Like, where you guys going? Like, you guys go to a club? Do you guys party with the other team? What do you think of Paul skiing in his hot little piece? You could ask questions like that, but they go, Otani's up. What are your thoughts on Otani? And he goes, oh, he's a great player. He's having a great year. Who gives a fuck? Like, what are we doing here? Who gives a fuck?
I mean,
Why are you
Otani's,
asking those questions?
it's not like he's a rookie. He's been a star for several seasons now. So it's not,
Well, it's also they're gonna give the most generic
right.
PC answers that they know is like what they're supposed to say. So why even do this? Like we know Otani's a good player. We don't need Aaron Judge to hear it. We need him to say something interesting, or else this experiment doesn't work.
They should have Sam Hyde asking the questions.
They should. They should have something.
They should.
It should be like, this is what I would have been like. I've been like, hey, so you guys party with the other team? Did you guys go out last night? Who threw the most down? What do you guys like to do? You guys rage after that? Like,
no, if they got like Shane Gillis or some funny comedian, yeah, it could actually be really good. Like get Nikki Glazer on there to like start fucking.
But they do it and they think this is like this innovative thing, and it's like they had Bryce Harper like, oh, you got a lot of Phillies in the infield. What do you think of that? He's like, oh, it's great. Okay, who gives a fuck? Like, either do it colorfully or don't do it all because it distracts you from the game. It is absolutely counterproductive to watching these games, and it almost makes the games feel less intense. Like, I couldn't see that in the NFL where you're like asking a linebacker or a defensive end ready to rush the quarterback, like right before the play, what are you thinking? You'd be like, I'm going to kill the fucking quarterback.
So I misunderstood when you were originally talking about it. I got it halfway through.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they were interviewing them like while they were playing.
While they're playing, yes.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like Aaron Judge in the outfield and Ohtani's up. And they go, hey, Ohtani's up. What are your thoughts on Ohtani? And he's like, oh, he's having a great year, and he had a great year last year. And I'm just like, why did we need that? You're not letting us in on anything. Either let us in on some secrets or don't do it because it's counterproductive to the intensity of the game. It's a massive backfire.
Bringing up the NFL, it would be kind of funny if they just had like a microphone, like and a headset set up for the booth to talk to like a cornerback.
Yeah.
And just talk to him during plays and be like, hey, what are you thinking? You should probably go for this play. And then they just chirp him. They chirp him when he fucks up.
And the NFL does have guys mic'd up, but they do it right because you're getting the feel of the game. You're getting the fights, the trash talking, the cursing.
Yeah, they're not doing it live either, so they can pick the most interesting shit too.
Exactly.
If you're gonna do it live, you just wouldn't do it during a play. They should have that
sideline. They would from the linebacker from the program mic'd up.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
but to have these guys answer questions that they have to politically answer to just, it's the most obvious answers. I don't understand it. And I'm like, I thought it took away from the game last night. And frankly, if Aaron Judge has something interesting to say, I'd like to hear it. But I don't need to hear that he thinks Ohtani's a great baseball player.
No, it's like asking him if the moon is gonna, is the water blue? I don't know. It's stupid.
Oh, I'd like to ask him why the water tastes.
I mean, they're trying so hard.
How's that water, buddy?
To compete. They're losing fans by the droves and numbers by the droves. So they're trying so hard to compete. But I'm just gonna say this ain't like doing this ain't working. You had numbers long before you can interview players on the field.
I tell you what,
players do steroids.
I'm now interested in baseball because they have alcoholics singing the national anthem.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to listen to this now. I'm listening to this. Because
here, I got it. I got.
Okay,
I'm going to throw it up here because
rise if you're able, and kindly your caps.
Rise if you're able.
For the presentation of our nation's colors.
Yeah.
By the Texas Department of Public Safety Honor Guard.
This is a good one.
Now to perform the national anthem, please welcome four-time Grammy-nominated country singer-songwriter Ingrid Andress.
You guys ever heard of this girl?
Nope.
She's from Detroit, too.
Can't say I have.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed by the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
Some of the players are starting to crack.
And the rocket's red glare bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
Yeah, there it is. You got this, homie.
Oh, say
You got this. Stay in the pocket. Stay in the pocket. Finish strong. Don't remember just the ending.
No.
Wow, she hit.
Oh, the home. The run on home. The home of the
I'm
Braves.
gonna make a hot take here. Better than Whitney Houston Super Bowl 1991. Blows it out of the water.
You think they'll release it as a single?
I think if they played it with the Whitney Houston one, I think this one is a little better.
I'm not in the
Do you
national
believe it's
anthem
alcohol though? Do you
business,
really?
bro.
Do you think it's alcohol that did that?
It's well, that's what she said, that she was drunk when she did it, and that she's now
Because
back
my
in
favorite
she's in
bands
rehab.
are always
That's
my
pretty funny.
favorite
Well,
bands
that's
play
like
better
what that's when
intoxicated.
country was best, when people were
Right?
missing teeth and
Yeah.
drunk all the time and getting divorced, and that's when country's great.
Do you think she
So
just
if-
choked?
No, she looked pretty plastered.
She was definitely
video.
drunk.
Do you
Yeah,
think she was so nervous that's why she drank, or she just
probably. I
had
mean,
a couple extra
I mean, if you're
cocktails?
prone to alcoholism, that's a pretty high anxiety. I don't know, but she's like, I mean, she's some respected musician. She's won 4 Grammys, so she's been in other
Yeah,
situations.
but that don't mean shit.
I mean, this is a fucking
Let's
home
be
run
honest.
derby. Who watches this shit? It's not the Super
I
Bowl.
mean, today with the Grammys, she won 4 Grammys. I never heard of her.
I don't know. Sometimes you win weird Grammys, though. You know, like weird categories and stuff.
4 Grammys and she's only 32.
Well, what are the Grammys though? Are they like best song or writer or
Let's see.
I
best
couldn't
song
tell
from
you.
a cartoon?
It's been a while since I watched it. You know, I'm a rock and roll guy, so all they bring out is like the Foo Fighters, and they win the rock award. And Dave Grohl gives a speech about how there's no real instruments anymore, and everybody says he was brave. And then he goes back next year and wins the award again.
Yeah. Here's
Okay,
Learning to
so-
Fly
so,
Part
Luke,
12.
Look, Grammy nominated.
Okay.
Yes.
Grammy
What's her-
nominated.
What's her
Best-
name again?
Ingrid Andress. So best new artist 20. They're all from 2021 except for one. Best new artist in 2021. Best country song in 2021
Oh, that's
nominated.
good.
Like best country album 2021.
All right, those are good.
And then
Those are-
Wishful Drinking last year. Best country duo group performance.
Okay, and I like that
She's a
she
country artist.
was winning for something called Wishful Drinking.
Let's see what she looks. Forget about her singing.
I would have liked to see her just say, I was drunk, I'm an alcoholic, and I'm not going to rehab.
She's a pretty
I'm,
girl.
I'm going to be on tour. Come catch me.
She's wearing cowboy boots.
Yeah, well, she's in
Yeah,
That's
and
Texas.
the
country.
radio.
That's
She's
country,
country.
Matty.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Southfield, Michigan.
I think that's probably one of the top.
That's country,
songs
right,
I've ever
Luke?
heard.
Yeah, that's country. If that ain't
I think
country,
Carl
you
Lewis
kiss my
was the
fucking
worst.
ass. But you know what? You know who is from Michigan too is Billy Strings.
Really?
Yeah,
Billy who?
you like that shit, don't you, Jim?
Where's Billy Squire from?
It's from my heart. No.
Oh fuck! I've heard
more
this. I've heard this wishful
dream.
drinking song. Fuck, dude. That song was all over like country, stupid country radio. around where I'm at.
Yeah, of course. Well,
Oh,
they get the
fuck.
jackass country shit.
Fuck, it's not. Yeah. Okay, I've heard
It's
this.
not like,
I've heard this.
you know,
I've
like,
heard this
You know-
broad.
go hang out with Blake Shelton.
I was talking to a buddy of mine too. and
We
I
are
know
getting
it sounds
sorry to like go, Matt. We
Yeah.
are getting Diamond Rio though at a town like nearby for their county fair. Hype.
My God,
Diamond
how old
Rio.
is that band now?
Dude, they're old as shit.
I think they played at one of the the local gigs I used to roadie for back in the early 2000s or 90s.
Active since 1984.
Yeah,
Whoa.
shit.
So 40 years.
I
This is
went
the 40-year
down the road.
anniversary.
I went over to Pappy and Harriet's. And
There's
saw
a
country
there's a really
music act
funny
last
story
night.
about Alien Ant Farm. doing a state fair. Yeah, they have like two songs.
I think I saw this one.
Yeah, where the guy he's like, who's got a new album? No, nothing. Who's got a new album? And he's like, fuck it, let's just do the Michael Jackson song.
Right. And that bass player kept making those weird faces all.
Yeah, licking. I think he's out of the band.
Sorry,
anyway,
I was drunk. I'm in rehab. That's all
the
he has to
Indiana
say.
Fever are about to lose 97-93 to the Dallas.
Boy, I tell you what, though, the Fever have been playing great, though.
Yeah, and Caitlin Clark 25-19 tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
And she did good. She beat they beat the Minnesota team, and that coach is the coach of the Olympics too.
And they beat New York too.
Yeah.
New York's like 25-5 or something.
Do you know anything about their playoffs? So what do you got to be in the playoffs?
No, I have no idea, but I mean, I'm watching this shit in the background. Before we started, I had Stuttering John. He had a big oil spill on his shirt, and WNBA basketball. What a combination.
That's called America, right there.
But yeah, the whole All-Star thing was, I didn't watch any of the home run derby. I don't know, man. Like, I was talking to a friend of mine, and we're like, maybe we're just old and jaded, but we're like, remember when we were kids, like Ken Griffey, Barry Bonds, McGuire. It was like every guy
was just
like
excited if someone from your team is on it, like.
Yeah, it's so weird how baseball means nothing to me, like nothing. And it's sad.
I don't know.
When did that change happen for you, Maddie?
I'm gonna say around 2009 or 10, when I had to kind of like focus on one sport because I didn't have enough time. So I really focused on football. And football is just done better. Like every week is like Christmas. Like that weekend is just, I don't know. I can't explain it, where I don't know what happened with baseball. I don't know.
Just somewhere along the line. It just
I wonder if
faded.
somebody's done a deep dive on this and really try to figure out why the popularity has declined.
I would say
so
fantasy, football, fantasy football, gambling is more fun with football.
But that
there's
doesn't
more of a
mean
lead up to these games.
I understand how that affects football, but I'm not sure why baseball would decline in popularity because of these things.
I don't know. I'd love to know. I mean, some people say it's boring, slow. I mean, they've always said that about soccer, but soccer in the world, we saw this weekend, it's still the number one sport in the world by far.
Yeah.
And people are psychotically passionate about it. I mean, I don't know if you remember the Who in Cincinnati in the late 70s.
Oh yeah, I was there.
I think 6 or 7 people were killed. I mean, yeah. I'm shocked nobody was killed in Miami this weekend. So like, I don't know, the baseball is something, I don't know what happened to me. And I'm not the only one. I can speak for a lot of people.
No, I mean, I'm with you too. Jim, I don't know if you were ever really into it ever, because you're from an area that doesn't even have baseball.
No.
Who do people root for around there? Kansas City?
I mean, Kansas City for the most part. Yeah, it's split between KC, Denver, and
St. Louis.
Yeah, Chicago. St. Louis is pretty popular. Wow. Cardinals are pretty popular here.
What about
Twins? No, not really.
You're not close to Minnesota.
No.
Why do I think Nebraska's close to Minnesota?
I think we're closer to Michigan than we are Minnesota.
Okay.
But there's like a minor league team in Lincoln. But other than that,
what's their affiliation?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think they're a minor league. I think they're like an alternate league.
Independent is what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think baseball is a patient sport too.
Yes.
And like, I think when I started to get older and doing a lot of things, that patience wasn't there all the time. So I got out of baseball.
I'll say this, boys. I watched my first baseball game of the season this last weekend.
Did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it. I was like, "What? It's great to have on in the background."
You know what? It's an interesting point I might make. You shouldn't try to speed up a patient sport. Like, I'm not a fan of the changes. Like,
I love them personally. I love the pitch clock.
Slow game. I'm sorry. I like when a guy's on first, if the pitcher wants to throw over 100 times or hold on to the ball, that's strategy. So they've like taken that strategy out of the game.
Well, I think, okay, I don't know. I think in the playoffs, it's just amazing. It is
Yes.
the
It's
most
still great.
intense sport because
Yes.
every pitch feels like the final play of a football game. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But during the regular season, it's like it doesn't have that same impact. So then a guy throwing over to first 100 times just feels like, come on, let's fucking go. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I think what works for them in the postseason works against them in the regular season. I guess that's my point with that. But
Well, they
baseball
keep
is
trying to
awesome
change a
live.
game that they shouldn't. And it's like
Yeah.
soccer never changed their game. Soccer could have. Soccer could have been like, let's be more lenient with the offsides. They could have figured out ways to add more offense. And
They
they're
got
like,
the
"Yeah."
VAR.
But that's just to get calls right.
Right.
That's not to get more offense. I mean, the
That's true.
MLB
It is very
has made
bizarre when somebody scores a goal and then they show this VAR and there's the shape of a person.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh, come on. Just
I think I don't even know what that. Oh, I mean, we should talk about Euro Cup.
yeah,
England-
Maddie, fill us in. Here's another thing you
England
watched
loses
that
2-1. They tied it up, and like this is what England does. They're always the bridesmaid. I think the last like Euro Cup, the last World Cup, they've been finishing runner up. They always have the lead or they tie the game, and when they do that, they just stop playing and they kind of play for penalty kicks or whatever, and the other team bites them in the ass. Yes, Spain was the best team, but England had a chance to win it. They lose 2-1. Spain was the best team in the whole thing. But when you're in it and you're tied 1-1 with like 30 minutes to go, you gotta believe you got a chance. You can't fucking blow it there. In England, they just kind of got lazy and just kind of rested on their laurels, and Spain got a quick goal.
Yeah.
Like when England with their defense was kind of sleeping. So, but it was a good tournament.
And so there were no casualties in that. So there was talk about the
There was more casualties probably in America. I don't know if
Yeah,
you
there
saw
was.
the videos. It was scary. If I was a security guard, I would have been absolutely terrified. It looked very scary. Like
yeah,
all
so
these
basically
people.
before the game even started, people were
Yeah.
rushing the entrances and
Yeah.
overwhelming the security there. And it was
And
a
the
nasty
game was
scene.
delayed
People
an
had
hour and
kids, they were
15
carrying
minutes.
little dogs in that. It looked like vicious.
Yeah.
It was
The
very-
game was delayed an hour and 15 minutes, and it was a great game. Both teams were exhausted. Messi got hurt. He sprained his ankle, so he was out before it was over. And Argentina got a goal in extra time. It was an intense game. Colombia had chances. It was back and forth. Both the Euro Cup and Copa America finals are both great. I thought, though, some of the games were not so exciting. Like there wasn't that signature game, except for maybe the last one because Spain and England was pretty good.
Yeah. What
Just
did you watch that Uruguay game where they were going into the stands to fight people?
That made me
did
so
not
hyped.
see that.
That made me so hyped, Luke.
Yeah.
That goes back to the
Jim,
busted Bruins.
describe it?
Just soccer
Yeah.
fans are just built different. After the game, Uruguay was like, "No, we're just."
Well, I like that. Like the guy, I'm watching it now, and the guy one of the guy that runs in there is like wearing a sports bra.
Yeah, I think that's the coach.
Is that nah? He's wearing like it's a sports bra, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I've never
what's
seen,
up
like,
with the sports bras?
Is that more than him? There's
NBA players wear them too.
Is that a thing now? Guys
Yes.
wearing sports bras?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm wearing one right now.
Are you, Maddie?
No.
Eh.
But I saw it and I'm
this
like,
is great though.
I
This
saw
is
a guy
awesome.
in the soccer game take his shirt off and he's wearing
Ooh,
a
there's a
bra, and I'm like,
hot
whoa,
female
what's
cop in
going
there
on?
too, like staying in her own.
I'll tell you one thing about the Euro Cup and Copa America. The camera people somehow find the most beautiful women in the stands. They never disappoint finding the most gorgeous girls. And no matter how much their team is losing, they're sad. And then as soon as they see themselves on the Jumbotron, they're like, oh, like they're so happy. It's like, you're down 2-0 and now you're all happy because you're on a stupid thing for 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whatever.
Why not?
Bronny James is lighting it up, by the way. 4 points tonight.
Whoa.
Well, how far are we into the game? That's what he's
No,
been
it's only
averaging.
6 minutes in the first quarter. The Lakers
Oh,
are
he's
up
going to prove the
12-2.
doubters wrong tonight.
Yeah.
So it's getting really weird, and it's just getting worse for him too. Like he's been so bad, so fucking bad. And then Jaylen Brown was caught on camera yesterday, and it was funny because they were just videoing him without him knowing he's having a private conversation with a friend he was attending a game with, basically saying that Bronny is not a professional and that he is only in the league because of his dad and everything.
Yeah.
It was clearly very embarrassing.
I mean, he's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong at all, man. You know, it's crazy because there's people like Michael Jordan could have had his sons in the league if he wanted.
Yeah, his sons played in college and they weren't good enough.
You know, and by the way, people that get picked 55th do not get guaranteed contracts almost ever, especially until after summer league.
Yeah.
So for him to get a guaranteed contract before he started the summer league is just clearly his.
I mean, I would also think like, let me just live my life and have my own journey. And if my journey is not the NBA, it's not the NBA. I know he's a big video game guy. Like maybe that's his journey, playing video games.
Sure,
there are
he could have
pro
been an
video game
influencer,
players.
you know, just
So
play
it's
video
like
games. He's
his
still
journey,
will probably be, because I don't know if he wants to go gut it out in Europe or whatever they're gonna do. I don't know. I kind of like, I love this part as LeBron as a dad, but as a serious person in the NBA, I think it's
bizarre,
it might tarnish
but
his legacy a little bit. I don't know.
I mean, again, as a little league umpire, I can't tell you how many times these fucking parents let their kids pitch in the biggest game when the best pitcher was sitting there picking his ass in the outfield, and his son is getting lit up, and they're still not taking him out. But like that's what fathers do. They're like, my son is gonna pitch the big game.
I like Michael Jordan's like, no, we're not wasting no roster spot on my fucking kid. My kid sucks.
Yeah,
I want to win 6 fucking titles. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah, I mean, looking, I really wish people didn't kowtow to LeBron the way it has happened in his career, because I think he really could have won so much more with a competent GM and and I think he's had competent coaches, but the moment they have a losing season or they don't, it doesn't turn out, they get some fired.
I mean, a lot of the times for the second half of his career, what he wants goes. So it's like,
well, that's what I'm saying. I wish he didn't have that. I wish he was forced into a situation where he had to trust,
but that's on him.
Shit. I know. I feel like LeBron, the player, has been marked down because of the LeBron, the GM. So
I mean, this is not a Barry Sanders situation where like the Lions make bad decision after bad decision. This is like him, like when he's on a team, he's like, I want to say who's the coach, who we get, how we're gonna run the offense, whatever. And he's kind of deserving because he's probably the top 3 player of all time. But at the same time, at this age and with his kid, it's a little dicey.
I think there's going to be, I think they're going to have a hard time making the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
Because the West is really, a lot of teams have improved. A lot of young teams are getting older. And then the shit with his son, it's going to look bad. And I think Laker fans are really going to turn on him. And
yeah, they're not feeling it.
It's going to be a real, like, bad ending. It's gonna be when some shit sprinkles on
Kobe went out
Sunday.
At his end, he had helped to bring 5 championships to Lakers. LeBron did get 1, but 1's not 5, so they might not have the patience they had with Kobe at the end of his career. So I don't know. I love it as a dad move. Fantastic, but it's just
total dad move.
And I will be cheering loudly when I see those two on the court at some point this year.
Yeah.
But I kind of hope right after that, kid goes back down to the G League or whatever, and we never see him again unless he makes some huge.
I mean, you know, I think his name is Duncan Robinson.
Yeah.
He was on Michigan.
Yeah. The great
He
Duncan
was
Robinson.
he was a good 3-pointer and shooter in Michigan.
Yeah.
He started his collegiate career in New Hampshire. I mean, I didn't see him as a pro prospect. Now, is he a good pro player? No, but for a couple of years, he could hit a couple threes off the bench, which is incredible for him. I mean,
Yeah.
can Bronny even get? I mean,
No, the
I would
problem.
have never thought that guy would be in the NBA.
Well, here's what happens is now, like, okay, you can't just be like, you have to do both. You gotta play defense, and you can't just be a defensive specialist anymore.
No.
Like, you have to be able to get the ball through the hoop, and
Yeah.
he can't do that at all. And when I see him on offense, he's not active. He's not making cuts. It's just.
Yeah, I'm watching him now. He just
hangs out at the 3-point line and he can't shoot. Like, what a fucking miserable thing to do. So I mean, this kid's had access to anything he's ever wanted between his dad's, basketball knowledge and any shooter specialist he could have.
And they might pull the plug really fast on this.
I think so. I think they're like, well, we're in it. I think it'll kind of pan out where he'll be on the team in the first few games. They'll get that playing time together, and then they'll boot his ass down to the G League and hopefully sign someone who can actually contribute. But yeah, like you're saying with Duncan Robinson was great because he found a way to shoot threes, and then all of a sudden the league started to catch up on threes too.
Yes,
where you had to be able to make 3-pointers to.
But I'm shocked he made the NBA. I never saw him as an NBA prospect or even close.
I don't even think he started at Michigan. I think he was like a 6-man there.
Maybe as a senior, but like I never saw him as like. I was shocked. I'm like, he's in the NBA.
Yeah, me too, man. And he was great for Michigan, but there was no way I saw him either. But he just fucking worked his ass
I saw him
off.
as a good college 3-point shooter, not an NBA player.
Yeah. No, that's true. Speaking of ball, we had Angel Reese's double streak ending with the Liberty.
Yeah.
And they stood their ground.
Sure.
Damn it.
It was really funny too, because when I saw like Angel Reese, how much that meant to her, like their team was getting beat pretty well.
Yeah.
There was no chance to win, but she's out there like complaining and pissed that she can't get this double streak to continue. And I somebody alluded that she may have padded some stats in some games too. Like, this is not.
Oh, she has.
I'm not gonna shit on her, but I will say it's good for the game that they were competitive. I mean, the history of sports, Michael Strahan stacking Brett Favre, laying down for him, is not good for the game. It's better for the game when the team makes it harder for somebody to do something.
Yeah,
I just think in the spirit of the game. But she's great. I mean, she's having a great rookie year.
She already set the record, I think, for it. So I mean, it's good, but it's just silly to like be super competitive about this stat.
But also, like, you have to realize, like, the other team has to be competitive. Like, we don't want a situation where Brett Favre just falls on his ass to give a guy a record. You know, it's like you got to earn a fucking record.
They were like quadruple teaming her so she wouldn't get this.
It was beautiful to watch. I loved it.
Dana Barros was a Celtics 2-guard. He had a record of like the most 3-pointers. He had like at least one 3-pointer for like 100 some odd games or something, like some record. And I remember the Knicks wouldn't let him get that 3-pointer at the end of the game. And they were D'ing on him so hard. And like, that was just that's like the game. Like, that's part of the game. And that was good. It's good for the game. So, she shouldn't be upset about it.
No, I don't know. What else is going on, guys?
Not a lot, man. I tried to watch a little of the Hard Knocks. It was a little boring. I'm in the second episode of the Giants. It's just wild to know we're on July 17th, 2 weeks. Next Thursday is the first football game, the Hall of Fame game. And like, once you like see the pads, like you'll be excited.
Yeah.
It's coming, dudes. And when
I
it
love that
comes,
first
my whole
weekend
life,
too.
yeah.
So is that then the full slate of preseason games
No,
that
it'll be the
weekend?
next week after that.
Okay.
But
Okay.
that Thursday is the first game, and it's like I'm all excited to watch it, and then after like 10 minutes, I'm like, okay, I'm watching.
I was gonna say, Maddie, that first like weekend after the Hall of Fame game, we all trick ourselves into being like, oh yeah, preseason,
Exactly.
and then we're just like, oh yeah, this is preseason.
By
Right.
third
No,
quarter, you're
it's
like,
watching
sweet
the
man.
NBA Summer League. That's what
I
it is.
like watching it because there's a lot of UFL guys that get time, baby. So I'm rooting
Yeah.
for my boys. I'm rooting for my boys when it's preseason
By
time.
the way,
Yeah.
I didn't put this on, but I ended up watching a bunch of Summer League games the last few days because where I was. But I'll tell you what, this Reed Shepherd kid from Houston is fucking great, dude.
From Kentucky.
Yeah,
Isn't it incredible they could not win a fucking game in like the last few years? They're so bad in the tournament.
Well, you get that turnover each year. You can't ever get any chemistry.
They're bringing in like 2 lottery picks to the
But
NBA.
I don't think that's a good move anymore. I don't think that's
No, it doesn't work.
No,
you
it's
get
not. It's not
people
the
for
MO.
one season,
Yes.
and by the time they start to kind of click, the season's
Yeah.
over, and then they're gone, and then
Exactly.
you got to do it all over again. But that Reed Shepherd was great. The first 2 games he lit it up. He had a little bit of rougher game against the Pistons. Also, Donovan Clingan. Oh my God, this guy was blocking every fucking shot within his vicinity.
Yeah. I mean, UConn had like what 4 draft picks.
Yeah, which was funny because I didn't really watch much UConn. I expected them to be more like older Duke prototype ball players, but these guys could fucking they were good, man. Klingon was fucking great. I don't know. Did you guys watch any summer league?
No, I watched The Bachelor. I can give you Bachelor.
No, it's middle. It's like we're coming up to the early middle of the CFL season, which has been extremely exciting.
Yeah,
it's been bonkers. Like every game's been coming down to the wire. Shout out the Edmonton Elks, who are literally allergic to winning 3 weeks in a row.
Wait.
Literally less than 5 seconds left to go. They are either up or tied, and they lose by a last-second field goal. 3 weeks in a row.
Announcer used to say once
Hey,
again.
I heard my boy
Jets...
Shea Patterson is on a team again.
He's the starter. He's a starter for the Rough Riders now because their quarterback's hurt.
Yes. Come on.
Behind you know who's behind him? Because it's another Big Ten quarterback. That's the backup.
What's
Jack
that?
Cohn from Wisconsin is his backup.
Oh, Jack Cohn. Yeah. God, he was really
all
bad.
the names.
Wisconsin. He was fucking terrible. Holy shit.
Yeah, he was. But like literally
he at Notre Dame or something too.
He did for a season. Yeah, his last season. Literally like I'd say 3 out of 4 games every weekend in the CFL come down to the wire. It's awesome.
I guess
this has been a great season.
Maybe I should watch one of those. I always like that spread out field and stuff they have there.
Is it on NFL Network?
It's on CBS. So they do 2 games right now. They'll probably change the format once the NFL starts up. But right now they do Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's a game each day. They do the Thursday and Friday games are only on CFL Plus, which is a free service you can go to. It's 100% free. Just go to your browser, CFL Plus, look it up. And then Saturday and Sunday, they do them on CBS Sports Network.
Okay, cool. I got CBS Sports.
Which also has a partnership with the Arena Football League. They've been showing the playoff games of the Arena Football League.
Isn't that exciting, Jim?
It's hype as shit. The Arena Football League's doing something at like some
Can I talk about strategy
entertainment mall complex in New Jersey or whatever?
Listen,
let's get to the important
There
stuff.
is strategy in The Bachelorette. When you're a guy, there's always going to be the villain. There's always going to be the guy that takes up all the time, that cuts, that takes too much time in the girl's time and doesn't give time to the other guys, that cuts into the other guy's time. When you're the guy that spends time trying to police that guy or like show him up or win against him, you always lose. Are you snitch on that guy? Don't be that guy. You always lose. Let that guy, let the rake hit him in the face. There's a dude that's wearing polka shells or something. or
shells?
pearl
Yeah.
necklace.
Puka
Oh,
shells,
he's just
baby.
straight wearing a pearl necklace.
He's wearing a pearl necklace. and
That's
he's
beautiful.
So concerned about the villain. It's like the villain's going to be off the show in a couple weeks. Like, stop worrying about the guy.
Nah.
Let him hang himself.
Never
Jesus.
warn a chick about another guy. It
No.
never works in your favor. I had
The
two friends of mine that were girls. The only
Yeah.
time I've ever warned the two different girls that I warned about the guys they were seeing, and both the girls end up marrying the guys.
I
It
was
doesn't
very
work.
good
It
friends with
doesn't,
Danny
and I wasn't
Masters.
trying to get anything out of it like these guys
Yeah.
are. I was
Sure.
just being actually sincere. But women
Yeah.
like it doesn't work to your
They're
advantage
not going to
because
listen anyway.
you look like a snitch, and then they start
Yeah.
sort of defending the guy in their head.
and they're not going to listen.
Yeah, no, nobody
And they
listens.
want you to concentrate on them.
Yeah,
You got to let that guy hang himself.
you can't sit there wearing a pearl necklace and snitch. It just doesn't happen for you.
Although
pal.
there's this alpha dude, the dude from South Carolina, he's all muscled up.
Yeah,
And he's like, well, the nerds couldn't handle the villain. It looks like I'm going to have to. So they finally casted the show right. The girl's boring as hell. This is more exciting than CFL. Sorry, Jim. It is.
Jim, you got to come to the batch side, baby.
I disagree.
Please, Monday
Disagree.
night. Jim,
Jim,
come on.
I'll watch it, Matty. I'll watch it. I'll see if
There's
I'll
a
see if,
lot
man
of
would
there's-
watch it.
listen,
I'll see if my lady wants to watch it with me.
Yeah, go, hey,
great,
hon,
great idea.
I got a surprise for us
Because
tonight.
these villains, there's a lot of good villains this year.
Yeah,
And the main villain is very, very good.
and he looks
He's
like
very
Pete Davidson.
cocky, very arrogant, very like, yo, I'm just doing my thing. I'm being myself. I'm being genuine. Now he's being a prick,
Devin
but he's
being
still
Devin.
being himself.
Yeah, it's fun. And then the angry
Yeah.
guy. The
He gave him
Asian
a
guy.
book on how to act.
Yeah. No, it's fantastic.
I wipe my ass for that book. Somebody gives me a book how to act, I wipe my ass for that shit.
Yeah, so the Jim, FYI, this guy gave another guy a book that was just on emotional intelligence.
That's amazing.
It's like, here you go, dude.
Yeah.
You need this.
This is
Oh,
gonna
funny
help
thing
you
is
out.
another guy gave his brother the same book when he was on that show a few years ago.
Oh, so
I
that's
will-
Noah's brother?
That's Noah's brother, dude.
Weird.
I will also take this time on the show to announce in like the next month, I'm probably going to be getting a PS5 in College Football 25. Like I'm going to get the game. It's just going to happen.
I didn't know you were a gamer.
So like there's certain games that I am deeply in love with, and NCAA like 11 through 14, the amount of time and hours I've soaked into those games.
Really? Okay.
Have you ever played
Oh,
Bill Walsh
my
college
God.
football?
No, I did not.
Well, before your time.
Did they have
But,
actual
like-
players' names and stuff on there?
Now they do, yeah.
Yeah, on call. Yeah, and they have the ultimate teams too.
I saw the picture of Edwards on the Wolverines, the running back.
Dude, I am
Done.
so far. I think my first team that I'm going to try and lead to a victory in Dynasty is going to be the University of Louisiana Monroe. To turn them into a powerhouse.
See, it's fun to play with the small
Well,
teams.
they beat Alabama, I think, early on in Saban's career there.
It was actually Saban's first year in 2007.
Yeah.
They beat him,
Oh.
but that was obviously overshadowed by App State beating Michigan that year.
Shut the fuck up, Jim.
I need to. They should do a 30 for 30 on that year.
You know, that game, I was a comedian, I had a road gig. We were like a 6-hour drive, and I was a Michigan fan, and I'm kind of following it on my phone, I think.
Yeah.
I think I just had the internet on my phone or the radio, and you're just like, you're getting the scores. You're like, this doesn't sound right. And then you're just like, what the fuck is going on? So I didn't get to see the game,
Oh, it
but
was
like,
miserable. Like you're watching it as a Michigan fan, going like, okay, they're just, they're
it's
just
going to
waking
happen.
up. They're
Yeah.
just waking up.
Yeah.
And then it didn't happen. And you're like, oh my God, I need to get out of this bar right now because I'm too
Yeah.
drunk and I'm gonna fight someone because I'm mad. And the weirdest thing about that year is they had a good team and they end up beating the shit out of Florida.
Yeah.
In between Florida's national championship seasons.
Well, that's the other thing too. One loss, you're done.
Yeah.
Especially one loss against a team you're a 40-point favorite.
Ooh.
I mean, they should do a documentary on that game. It's probably
No, I think there's been some other ones that have been worse since then, though.
I mean,
but
every
probably
year
that
I
is
watch.
culturally significant.
Every year I watch USA Russia 1980. Every year I'll bust
You
that
watch the
out.
full game?
The full fucking game.
Nice.
One of the greatest calls of all time. Do you believe in miracles? As Al Michaels, he's like, some of you guys don't know the difference between a blue line from a blue light, a red line from something. Like he was fucking good.
Yeah.
You know, it was good. Vince Scully. I go to
love
sleep
Vince
listening
Scully.
to Vince. He goes, the Yankees old farm team was in Columbus, and he goes, all these players are coming up from Columbus, as Philip Roth would say, it's goodbye Columbus. And I'm like, wow,
Philip Roth.
yes, that's over Jim's head. They don't read much in Nebraska, but
No, we don't, Maddie.
They just drink wine
Shuck
coolers
corn and drink moonshine
and put weird shit in kiddie pools and swim in them and get wasted and listen to really bad music and go to rodeos and get shitty belt buckles and brag that you can watch free CFL on CFL.
Anyone can do that, Maddie. Anyone can do that.
Yeah, but
But I love
brag
Jimmy.
about it, Jim.
I love Jim with all my passion and fever. And I can't wait till you come out to LA. We'll have to have a party.
I'll let you guys know what day, because it'll be a fun lunch.
We'll go out.
You should come a couple days early. You know.
No, I mean it depends on the money we have, because they're doing like the flight as a. It's
Listen,
a whole
Jimmy.
It's a whole fucking deal.
You and the lady come out here. Luke, come out here. I got the meal.
But at the very least, I plan on coming out again in the next year or two too. Like I want to go back, just me.
By the way, you know it's really confusing. I'm watching the Laker game, and there's a guy number 23. So I'm like, that's got to be Bronny, because you take his dad's number in tribute, but it's somebody else. And the dude is lighting it up, and I'm like, wow, Bronny's crushing it, but it's not him.
Well, their other draft picks had some good games. That Dalton Connect.
I'm sure, yeah.
I mean, he's got to get a little more efficient, but he can shoot the hoop, shoot the rock, as I say. All right. Jimbo's got to go.
I got to get going.
We'll make it a short one here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week for another insane episode of the Sports Hole. Bye-bye.